Yo, welcome to the show. Gather round, listen close. We got George, Brock, and J.A. bringing you the most NFL podcast. It's about to go down. Three amigos ready to run this town. Welcome to the Ball Studio, where the fun begins. George, Brock, and Jay talking NFL with their friends. So grab a drink, sit back, let's dive into the show. The Ball Studio, fam, we're ready to go. Let's go.
Welcome all to the Vault Studio podcast, brought to you by the Chernobyl Park Sporting Club, the best in the nation.
Best in the nation.
The nation. Joined always by James Arthur and the big Spanakopata, Georgie boy, as he flexes on camera. Go to our YouTube, get on Spotify, like, subscribe. Make sure you watch the video on Spotify, because then you can see the great super sub Scotty.
Hey,
We're doing a pretenders, contenders, or need some help sort of episode. So we need the prediction expert.
Yeah, we need some backup. We need super sub in to help us back us up.
Scotty,
100%.
welcome aboard, mate.
Thanks for having me back, boys.
You're welcome,
You're
buddy.
pretty high at the moment as well after not because of the drugs you just took, because of Seattle.
Or will be taking.
No more drugs for that, man.
Seattle's up and about, so I thought I'll come back on, and
I reckon if they'd lost yesterday, you might
I would
come
not
on.
be doing the show. Certainty.
Only wants to be on the show when they win.
I love the honesty.
Checks out. Makes sense.
I love the honesty.
I was going to give a quick shout out. New t-shirt this week. I'm doing a new t-shirt every week. I got my, this is for you, Hazzy boy, the old Carey Panthers Premiership t-shirt. I said I'd wear it on the show.
Big H.
Yeah, got the t-shirt. So you were there.
And he hasn't even signed up to the Patreon.
I know. Well, I will defend
You're
him.
wearing the shirt and he's not on the Patreon.
This might get him back, but
Take it
I
off.
will defend him because he was on it for about 5 years when I think it was like him and one other person because he forgot to get off it.
Classic.
And I didn't realise that
card
he was still there. And I went to check and I'm like, oh, we've been charging him like $6 a month for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't give his money back.
That was the
Fuck him.
classic OnlyFans approach of try and get him to sub.
Yep.
Don't tell him you're going away.
I've looked
Just
after that kid enough.
Get
you
the
know?
resubs.
He can pay me $4.50 a month. You know, he'll be fine.
Fair. He'll be
And
fine.
you still never catch up to the things I've done for him. I can't name them now, but I'm sure there's plenty. No, so we thought we'd do tonight, we go through the playoff contention teams from both conference, and we do whether we think they're a contender, a pretender, or need some help. And I'll read what the prerequisites were for this. If I can just get it up. I've lost it now. I sent it to Scotty. So basically, a contender, a team that needs no help to win. They're in the box seat with either team talent, situation, or coaching. And then need some help is these teams are good, but probably not as good as a few others. They can win it, but they will need some things to go their way. And then a pretender, they will be in the playoffs, but they don't have a chance of winning a Super Bowl or maybe even a playoff game. That's where we sit.
So we're categorizing the teams based on can they win their conference.
Yep. Can you get to the Super Bowl? Or I think playing a conference game.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, can you be one of the last four left?
Four,
That's
yeah.
kind of the prerequisite for success because Super Bowls are hard to win. Ask the Niners, or ask Shanahan in general.
True.
So I think if you can be a
I
Final Four team, that's
through
a
the week.
success.
His win percentage is only like 55% or something. Like it's not that impressive.
Let's just talk about it quickly now because there's speculation that the Bears are going to trade for him
Yeah.
as trade for him as their
for a
coach.
coach.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can do
it's-
it.
it's a
That's
thing.
been
I
done
know,
before.
I know you can
Number
do
one.
it, but
Didn't they do it for Sean Payton?
Yep,
Broncos did.
did it for Gruden as well.
Gruden back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
They traded a first round
Yep.
to the Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks traded for him.
Yep.
Then won a Super Bowl against the team they traded away from.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Away from the Raiders. Yep.
Yep.
Classic.
Spider
Classic
2, Y
Raiders.
banana, as John Gruden would say.
Yep.
Also, him on Barstool Sports. It's
Fantastic.
just some of the best
That's
content.
got to be that's a recruit of the year, isn't it?
If you haven't, that's Dave Portnoy in a nutshell. It's just like, let's get this old coach that's had some legal issues with the NFL, but he's won, and get him in, just let him rip on everyone where no one can stop him saying whatever he wants.
And he knows he's an encyclopedia for knowledge.
Oh.
He just knows too much.
He was doing a video the other day. It's he was trying to hire his back of house people for his fucking show.
Yeah.
Great 30-40 minutes episode of him just talking to these candidates that are super nervous, and he's just blowing their heads off.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
he was recruiting Barstool people to be in his staff.
No,
It was so funny.
new people to
Oh,
join.
Were they not Barstool
No,
people?
they weren't Barstool people.
Oh, they were just randos.
They were random people trying to get
that's
on the
very good.
production team.
I thought they were already in Barstool, and that was the bit, but it was
No.
just genuinely, he was funny.
it was fantastic.
He is the ultimate, I've done it all now, and I don't care what
Is
I
he?
say.
Is he coming back to coaching?
nah.
I don't think he can.
Why?
I don't think anyone would
Why?
hire him.
Well,
Just the legal ramifications. I just don't know if he can.
He's still getting paid by the Raiders as well.
Yeah.
Why would you want to come back? He can still get he'll get paid out his contract.
Yeah, I don't know if it's about the money for him anymore.
No, I
he
think
just likes to coach.
I don't think he wants
I
to
think he
coach
came back
anymore.
for
Nah.
the money
Yeah,
for the Raiders.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because he was doing his Gruden camp, which is like all the,
The QB camp.
QB prospects. Yeah.
So,
He was
yeah.
also
I just
on
think
a
he's-
massive
just think he's-
TV contract then as
Knows
well.
too much about football to be lost to football, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. If he came back to coach, I'd be right. Maybe with the Cowboys coach next year.
As a coordinator,
If they can
even.
avoid re-signing
Nah,
McCarthy.
you're going to get prime time.
You'd have him as an OC. I'd have him as an OC.
Yeah. No way.
Anyway, so let's go through. We'll start with the NFC.
Yep. So
Oh,
then
yeah, see.
let's start with the Lions. Scotty, you start us off. What do you think of the Lions?
So NFC. So Lions, I've got the most complete team. They're in a small slump at the moment, but they'll have home field throughout, and that would just be electric.
Yeah. So you got him contender.
Oh, absolutely contender. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Georgie boy.
I also have them as contenders, and really, if we're talking brass tacks, they're arguably the best team
Yep.
in football.
Yep.
Like that's just the reality. I think injuries are starting to pile up, and that could cost them down the stretch.
Yep.
But hopefully they can get healthy, because even as an Eagles fan, I'd love to see Detroit win it.
I think-
I'd love to see them win it all, because they've been down for so long.
Yep.
And Campbell's come in and change the whole culture, which we've spoken about before on this show. That's a hard thing to change. The culture, a losing culture, to change that is
And
a
it's like
it's a
100
Herculean
years of
effort.
losing culture.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean.
They've
And
it's
never
done it-
won anything.
They've done it the right way. They haven't just got all the huge free agents and tried to make a super team. They
they've
built
drafted,
it.
yep.
Yeah. They
And the thing-
installed the culture.
The main reason that I've got them as contenders is that I think now, especially after losing last year, I think they've got that belief,
Yep.
and belief is a critical thing, man. Like if you think you can, you can.
Yeah.
So that's part, and they've also got that. Even with all the injuries, they've got that next man up mentality
Yep.
at the moment, and I think a lot of that is Campbell.
Yep.
So that will also hold them in good stead down the stretch.
It's very Belichick, that sort of
Yeah.
next man up, do your
Yeah,
job
do your
situation.
job. I
I've
agree.
got them sort of an 80% contend, 20% need some help. And that need some help is legit just their injuries.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy, like that's the only thing that's going to F them up in this year. If they too many injuries, they could have been peaking too early, and they are slumping a little bit at the moment. Yeah, they're still winning games, but they're winning games just
Ugly.
very ugly games, and like
Is that a bad thing though?
No, it's
it's not a bad thing, because if you win games, you win games.
If you've got 15 guys injured on the defense, like what you just said, 15 guys injured on defense, and you're still winning games, that's a win.
Yeah,
You
their
tick that
offense
box.
is absolutely electric, and they're so weird, and they're just so weird and so tricky with their offense. Where I think they're absolute contenders, and they should win the NFC.
I
They,
believe
they
they
honestly should win the NFC, but they need help just with their injuries, like because they can kill any team.
Yeah,
They
agreed.
can really kill a team.
I had them as a contender, obviously, as well. Great coaching. It's a super efficient offense. They can beat you any way they want. I think the game Thursday night shows that when we talk about great coaching, what Dan Campbell did to the Packers, a division rival who has had the wood over them forever they've had the wood over them, to basically go, you know what, our defense is struggling. Offense, you got to win this game now.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
offense,
cool.
and you do all the offense after being like, if we'd lost there, we would have all happily lost that game on that decision. We back him in. And that's what great coaches do. They find a way to make their players understand that I'm in this to help you win. I'm not worried about getting fired. I'm not going to coach to not lose. I'm going to coach to win, because I would prefer to win with you guys than lose sitting on the sideline watching Jordan Love torch our injured defense again. I'm just going to win it now.
Situationally, going for that fourth down in your own, so deep in your own territory, with
Diabolical.
the game on the line, it's pretty
You went
fucking
for it,
ballsy,
you went
man.
for it 5 times.
Yeah.
They also
They got
didn't
4
get
from
it.
5 that game.
Yeah, the one they didn't get was inside their own 40.
Yeah.
So the Packers scored straight away off that.
Yeah.
And everyone could have easily been like, oh shit, he's just let them score. But he just understood that we're so injured on defense. Jordan Love's going to get hot, which he did. We need to just
Take the
win
ball
the
out of
game.
his hands.
And it's
yeah.
also, if you go for them all the time, like that's your thing. It doesn't look as bad when you don't get one and your success rate might be 70%. Like it doesn't look as bad because you know you're going to go for it. That's your mantra. That's what you hang your hat on. That's it. That's everything you go for.
It's
So
the real Mike Tomlin sort of going on too, because if you go at 80% or going on two, you go at 60%, you're still going better than most other
Yeah,
teams.
yeah. Yep,
You're
that's
still
a good
getting
point.
those points on the board. Like, yeah, you're leaving points on the field, but like you're still going to go. You're still going to drive. Especially
Yeah.
Jared Goff is playing unreal, and he's going to be. He won't win the MVP, but he seriously should be in the discussion for MVP.
I think he is. Yeah, I just think his numbers won't produce enough.
Well, I think it's the classic. He's just a part of a very good team.
Yeah.
He's not the main part.
Exactly.
They're just all perfect
Yeah.
meshing together.
But he just runs that offense
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
so clean.
He's the perfect guy for them though, because
Yeah.
sorry,
I was going to say he's
when
perfect for
when
them.
he was traded for Stafford, it was kind of like it felt like we'll give you
A bridge.
we'll give you Goff as well, like just
Yep.
just take him,
take
His
this bag
big
of
contract.
Doritos. Yeah.
And Campbell then spun it to be like, no, we didn't just get you to be the bridge. Like, you're the dude. You're the number one
Yeah.
overall pick. You've been to a Super Bowl. I'm going to build a team around you and make you successful. And I think the narrative was always that inside the Lions camp, even though we didn't probably know that from the outside, but it was always that narrative in. And that's just kind of the epitome of that team, is it not? Like,
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, he fell in the draft because he wasn't fast enough and, couldn't outrun guys, but he's elite slot receiver. And they've got Jameson Williams, who is a speedster. And then, like, even Tim Patrick, who tore his Achilles 2 years ago, was just coming back this year. He was on Denver's roster. Everyone was like, Tim Patrick's going to be really important for Denver. They cut him like he was nothing, and now look at him making impact plays
Yeah.
for Detroit. They're the guys that they rally around.
Next
They
man up,
build it
bro.
the right way.
One last thing with the Lions. Did you see that thing that 2 years ago though they were 1-10? Mm-hmm. They were 1-10 2 years ago.
Yep.
Jesus.
That is
It's a huge turnaround,
insane.
man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
And then
it's
they beat Green Bay that last game of the
unbelievable
season
effort.
to knock them out.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was that season because they won like 8 in a row, and then like I said, they're fun, and I think everyone could if they. Like I said, obviously your team's in the playoffs, but I think and your team and most people would say if the Lions are there wouldn't be many upset people. I don't think.
Nah.
No, I just
You'd have
don't
to be a
think
real hater.
Yeah, you'd really
You'd have to be like a
real
proper
real
hater. To the,
depressed sack
to the
of shit.
marrow kind of hater.
to the marrow.
To the marrow.
Should we talk about my boys?
Let's talk about it. Let's start with Brocky. What do you got the Eagles as?
They need some help.
Okay.
They need some help. They're playing well, but they've just been playing a real somewhat weak schedule. So I think come playoff time, they're actually going to face some real tough teams. Like if they have to play the Vikings or play the Commanders. Commanders could come in to beat you guys as well. If they
It's,
come in,
it's
if they come
essentially
in
another
hot,
division game. I don't disagree
if
with
they
that.
come in hot, which I reckon they will have to come in hot to even make playoffs in like the 7 seed, they might be able to sneak you guys at home. Even if you beat the Commanders, you're gonna have to play like the Vikings or the Bears or someone like that.
No, the
Bears.
Nah.
definitely not the Bears.
The Bucks.
Bears
I
are
mean,
done.
Bucks,
I think
yeah.
they're
The Bucks.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he meant the Bucks. He meant
Yeah.
No, it's fair point. And I've got them. I've got them as a contender, and my reasoning is, if they can keep feeding Saquon,
Yeah.
the offense will work. I know
Yeah.
AJ Brown's throwing his toys out the cot at the moment because he wants the ball more.
I think a lot of that's just a beat up from the media. To be
I think
honest.
so too. I don't think it's all there.
I think there might have been one conversation that was had, and then it's turned into a fucking 4-day
as,
saga.
as they do. But he's
Standard.
clearly not wrapped with the offense. But also, if they keep running this offense, this style of offense, which again, I had Callum Moore on a dartboard, and he's changed his philosophy. He's actually grown as a coach, and it's showing. So if they can feed Saquon and keep him going, their offense is live with that, right? And I'm taking away the Panthers game. I know they only just won, and they won on a drop
That
catch.
was
Give
that
the
was
Panthers
But the
some
Panthers have
credit.
been playing outstanding the last month. Like
yeah. No, they've been great.
they've actually, if you look at the numbers the last month, they've
Take
been
the-
one of the best teams in the NFL.
And that's
Take
like
the record away from it.
Yeah,
They're-
100%.
Yep.
that
play
game was
hard.
like the epitome of like a trap game.
Yeah.
too,
Yeah,
like, in the sense
100%.
that like big win on the road against Baltimore. You come back home. Oh yeah, it's
Yep.
an easier opponent. You're like,
Yep.
oh yeah, whatever. And then mate, really. They drove the field. They should have won that game. He
Yeah.
holds on to
Yeah.
that catch.
But they
They
didn't.
win that game, but they didn't.
They didn't, and that's what sometimes the good teams get. That you get those players, and then also
want me
like
to do- oh, you go.
there's not enough flowers on their defense. Their,
No, well,
their
that's what I-
defense is playing outstanding. Jalen Carter is one of the best defensive players in football right now. I can't get over how demonstrative he is for an offensive line. They
he's huge.
cannot handle him.
Yeah, they can't.
You can't even double him because he's so quick, and the way that Vic Fangio set him up, he's on he's the backside 3 on so many plays that you can't double him because you're
yeah.
not running at him.
Yes.
And he just does that JJ Watt, that backside like rip around the defense. The poor guards are just like, I can't stop this guy. Or the tackle has to go a gap over to try and seal him,
Yeah.
and they can't get him. Even if they get on his outside shoulder,
'Cause it's too fast,
They
yeah.
can't move him. So I think
He's
that being
impossible
said
to
is-
block 1-on-1. Like 1-on-1, he's impossible.
He's unreal. He's really shot up, and I think that's been a big difference. They got their pass rush back. Their defense is good. Obviously, the great white hope, Cooper DeJean, is. We're all wrapped with that he's changed. Like, he has played so well. So I think that's where I think their flowers are being missed. That's why I think they're a contender.
Well, that's what I had too. So obviously, I've got them as contenders.
Yep.
And I said the reason they are contenders is because the defense is playing elite.
Yep.
It's an elite defense by
100%
the
it
numbers and the eye test as well. They're an elite
They
defense.
fly around.
So there's that. Really, a couple of really good pickups on defense. Like Bourne's been a revelation.
good.
Where did
he's
he
been
come from?
Raiders.
He came to the Raiders. He was like an outside linebacker,
Been
like
unreal.
rush end. And Fangio's like, no, I'm going to make you a middle linebacker, and he's just killing it.
And
Like,
even is it Nolan Smith, the Georgia guy?
yeah.
He started playing really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's
obviously
amazing.
we've
It's
got
starting to come together.
those rookies in the secondary. They're playing lights out. Will they continue? Let's hope so.
Yeah.
But on offense, the reality is like we have an elite, probably the best offensive line in football, if not top three.
Jordan Millard is the best left tackle in football.
Yeah.
It's not
I
even
think
close.
Lions probably have the best line.
our tackles
Foley.
are both the best rated left tackle and the best rated right tackle on Pro Football Focus. I don't know. That's not a gospel,
You
but
can take
like,
it all with a grain of salt.
grain
I
of
agree.
salt, but it's still something.
It's a good measuring stick.
Right, it is, right? Because everyone gets measured the same way, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it is a good yardstick.
Yeah.
So you got two top tackles. Cam Jurgens having a great year at centre, filling in for probably the best ever. So that's unreal.
Yeah, he's done a really good job.
Elite O line, elite running game with Saquon. He's probably been the recruit of the year.
And
let's
then
be
Hurts
honest.
is doing his job.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like Hurts has sort of evolved as well, because you said about Kellen Moore evolving his offense. He's evolved now too, where he's sort of like he doesn't have to throw the ball 40 times. He doesn't have to put it all on his arm anymore.
He's also given a lot more RPOs off. He's given the
Yeah.
ball off a lot more.
Good.
Rather than pulling and trying to do it himself.
Good, and that's a good thing because you're right, Brock, because him running is not necessarily what you want all the time, because there's just more
Not for your
chance of
first
him
option.
getting. That should not be a first option, exactly.
Yep.
There's just more chance of him getting injured. And
Yep.
the other thing, my only concern going forward, if we're going to make a deep playoff run, is you've spoken on it before, and I believe you're correct. What's going to happen when good teams like Minnesota load the box
Yep.
and make Hurts throw the ball to win the game?
Yep.
That is a concern. It is a concern.
Because we just haven't seen it.
Well,
You haven't
we
seen it against
did.
good run defense.
Yeah.
We did last year a little bit.
And it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
No, that's fair.
But
Also, didn't have Saquon.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So, but my only sort of solace is that Hurts has proven that he's a big game
Yeah,
performer.
that's fair.
Like, so in big moments, he doesn't shy away from the moment. He performs well. Like in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs, he was basically the best player on the field.
Easily.
Really.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Other than the refs,
That-
obviously.
well,
Oh, God.
Yeah,
It's
Jay.
why
It was
it's
a
too
whole-
early. It's too early. We've lost
please
George.
don't.
It was a
Sorry.
whole-
So see how calm I'm being?
You're not being calm enough.
Well,
You
I'm
need to
trying.
calm
I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
He's going to drop a
So that's my only
just a
solace
chill
is that
guy.
he's a proven big game performer.
That means
so
Facebook
I'm
now.
hoping. But having said all of that, let's assume that everything breaks down the way it's going to. I don't believe we can beat the Lions in Detroit for the NFC Championship.
That's fair.
I don't believe, like, even both teams at full strength. I don't think we can.
Okay.
I don't think I just think the Lions are just a little bit too tough. Just a bit tougher than what
That's
we are.
fair. Yep.
That's just what I believe.
Scotty?
Yeah, Eagles, I've got them as a contender. And then I've just got no Hurts turnovers. So I think you'll lose a playoff game with multiple turnovers.
Yep.
Yes.
And the defense has become exotic and quite dangerous.
Yep, that's fair. All right, take us on your Seattle boys, Scotty.
So I've got they must win the turnover battle. The defense that no one wants to see at the moment, and will probably win a home playoff game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I have them as need some help if they want to
Yeah,
win a
that's what
Super
I've got
Bowl.
too,
I've got them in the need.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go in and beat a Lions or an Eagles, but I think on the
We
right
match up
day,
well against the Lions, but not playoff Lions.
yeah, I think on the right day where you get some turnovers, things go your way, and then the big question mark for Seattle for me is Geno.
Yeah.
And I like Geno a lot, and I think when he's at his best, he's actually quite good.
Yeah.
I think he makes some great throws, but the red zone turnovers, which we've talked about a lot, Scotty.
Yep.
You can't do that in playoff games.
No, absolutely.
You need to put points on the board, whether it's field goals or touchdowns. You have to put. You can't just lose points. And Geno's he's just been doing that too much. So he needs to clean that up. If
Too
he does
careless
that, they
with the
can
ball.
do it.
Yeah.
But they need some help because they're just not
They
the
need
best
a
team. in the
run
division.
game. The last 3 weeks, it's becoming a run game. If that continues through, and then you're in cold Seattle, who knows?
Yeah, agreed.
Cold
agreed.
wet, yep.
But yeah, it needs some help for sure.
I
I got you a need for help, but like, if you guys make the NFC Championship game this year, you guys are a massive win for the season that year.
I think making playoffs. Where we are right now is win.
Yeah.
Win the division.
If you win your division, yeah, it's third best division in the league. But like, you beat Cardinals. You played well.
You swept the Cardinals, which is huge.
Yeah.
It's hard. The NFC divisions are hard to sweep.
Yes.
No matter what the records are. So I think when you sweep a team in a pressure game, Cardinals knew that was a pressure game too. Like they couldn't lose that game.
No,
And-
whoever lost that game is out of playoffs.
And then the Seahawks really, from start to finish that game, I was watching it. I was never concerned for Seattle. I was always like, they're the much better football team right now.
When Murray threw that second pick in the first quarter, I'm like, nah, I don't
Yeah,
think
but
they're
his
gonna
but
win
his
this game.
first drive, he was unbelievable.
yeah,
and then just threw
blown
those
coverage for a 40-yard
and
touchdown.
then threw those 2 interceptions, and I'm like, here's Seattle.
He
They're
looks
just-
electric when he runs with the ball.
Yeah, he does.
But you just know he's going to do something stupid and
Yeah.
throw the ball away at the wrong time.
and like the Cardinals are probably a year or two off. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not overly talented either. But I think Seattle have kind of hit. Who's the D tackle with Murphy?
Yeah, Byron Murphy.
He looks real good.
Him and Lennon Williams. Oh, Big Cat is...
He's just turned on the last month. He came back from
Unbelievable.
injury and just makes, like I said, makes a huge
Unbelievable.
difference. And
Yeah.
another guy the Giants let walk
Yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah.
So I've got them as an elite defense, and I've said that they've got good weapons on offense. They've got
Yep.
good weapons.
Yeah,
they do.
100%.
That's the reality.
JSN's an absolute gun.
But unfortunately, I think I agree with what you're saying. I just don't. And again, I like Geno as a man. I think he's a nice man, but I don't think he can win you the big game.
Lovely chocolate man.
He's like you hear him speak. He's just a,
Yeah,
he's just
he's
a nice
good. I
guy.
think- and I think the
And
team
he's very
likes him.
likable. You can see
Or-
that his teammates love him. Like on the
Yeah.
sideline, like everyone gets around him.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's good enough to win a big game. Like he's not good enough to win an NFC Championship game.
That's fair.
No, that's... Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
And at that level, that deep in the playoffs, like you need high level quarterback play to win an NFC Championship. You can't just rely on your defense.
Agreed. Can I start us on the Bucks?
Please.
So I've got my first pretender of the night.
Yes.
And here's why. I thought about this. I had them in need some help, and then I was like, no, they're not. And here's why. They're the best of the average teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
They don't really have a lot of talent and are still pretty injured. Like they're not overly a talented lineup, especially with injuries. And then Baker is fun. And I love Baker. We all know my turnaround on Baker. I walked out when the Browns drafted him. I've enjoyed his rejuvenation, and I love it. But he is up and down. He's hot and cold. And again, those guys, they'll probably win a wild card game. They'll probably win one at home.
No,
I don't know.
They won't
I
win a
don't know if
wild
they
card
can win a
game.
wild card
Well, if they're
game.
sitting at 4 now, they'll get the Vikings. Again, it's tough. Like, but they could pip the Vikings because if Baker just has a huge day, like that's the
Yeah.
sort of guy he is.
Yeah.
Then they could also lose that by 30 points because
Yeah.
Baker throws 3 picks because he's trying to do too much. And
Yep.
that's just the Baker roller coaster at the moment. It's a fun one, and I enjoy it, and I like him, and I love his swagger and the way he goes about it, and I guarantee his team loves him. But I just think they're not there. I don't see them beating a Vikings, a Packers. Maybe they beat a Commanders because they're kind of in the same wheelhouse.
Well, they won a playoff game last year. They beat us.
Yeah, but you
famously.
guys were reeling. Like
reeling is
I
reeling
think
is a compliment.
You would have lost to anyone that day.
We were the most limp dick fucking playoff team I've ever seen in my life.
And it was a great win, and Baker came
It was a
out
good
hot.
win, and he played well.
Yeah.
So, having said that, is the pass mark this year? They've got to win. They've got to win a playoff game again this year. Really?
I think they've
winning
got
the
too
division.
many injuries this year. I
Yeah.
think the measuring sticks moved
Yeah.
throughout the
They did
year.
have some
If
injuries.
they can win the division over Atlanta after being swept by Atlanta and then being literally limping because of how injured they were, and then finding, and they've beaten some other average teams because they're a bit better than them, but they've beaten them and they've taken the division, and I think they'll take the division. I
Surely.
think Atlanta are dead.
yeah, dead in the water for sure.
And I just think I do like the Bucks. I just don't think they're capable of going on a run.
I've got him as pretenders too. Like
Yeah.
Baker, like I love Baker, and you can like he leaves it all on the field. He tries his guts out for you. Like, and his teammates love him or whatever, but they just don't have enough talent.
No,
They
I
just
agree.
don't have enough
If
talent.
they get that run game going in playoffs, though, that could be dangerous, especially against the Vikings, where the Vikings like to throw the ball. They just chew the clock. Run 3 running backs that can all
It's
be
very matchup
RB1s.
dependent.
But the Vikings
They
are
can just
such a, and we can.
Quicken that game up. And just
Have
get
we all
forward.
got Bucks as pretenders?
Yeah, I got most
I've got them as pretenders. I've got the elite defense. They're missing Godwin like you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe.
Like crazy.
And the elephant in the room is I've got Todd Boyles, but it's Todd Bowles game management.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
terrible.
In playoffs, you can't butcher.
Can't sum up anything.
Yeah, you can't. The errors, the margin of errors is so small, and it's just like he just does the wrong thing every time.
It
So
almost cost them against the Raiders. They
Yeah.
almost lost to the Raiders
Yeah.
because of it. So,
Yeah.
and again,
He's
they
got a
didn't
history of it.
because they're better than the Raiders. Because
Yeah.
the Raiders are a bad team and they're
That was just
they're an average
that
team.
was just a talent thing.
They're just
yeah.
a better team. But yeah, I'm with you. And then we can segue this into the Vikings because if the Bucks got the Vikings in the playoffs, I think the Vikings are absolute contenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
oh, really?
I've got them as contenders. I think
so do I.
they're probably the second best team in the NFC. They just unfortunately are in a division with the Lions. They've lost the Lions in a close one. Darnold is.
Do you want to check their wins before we go on?
Yeah,
this?
I'm not saying. I just
Scott knows ball. Don't you remember?
I
Scott
just
knows ball.
think they are.
They limped over the Jags.
Yeah, but it happened. So did the Eagles. The
Yeah,
Eagles limped
in,
over
in,
them
in
too.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not. I said wins are wins. I like them. They're strong in all areas, and I can see them beating the Bucks say in the first round, and then going into an Eagles or a Lions and having a good day. Like I could see it happening. I think they can win it. Now, will they is a big story, but I just think they're talented enough that if they play their best game, they can beat anyone in the league. That's what I think. If I'm taking them as a contender on their best day possible, Darnold plays lights out, which he has really played lights out
Just
most of
see,
this
yeah,
season.
he was so good the other day.
He
man. Far
butchered
out.
the Falcons. He was
Yeah.
in a Kirk
Falcons
Cousins
are
revenge game.
So bad.
I don't think they're that bad. I just
They
think
are. They are
I think the
very
Vikings
bad.
are so much
I
better.
think the
than
Vikings are just good. I
Yeah.
agree. I think the Vikings.
I've got them as need some help,
and that's fair. That's fair too.
They've had a pretty easy run, but they've got a tough run home that might expose them. They're at Seattle, then they've got Green Bay, then they're at Lions.
But you surely don't feel confident the Vikings coming into Seattle.
Yes, I actually do.
You think you'll beat them?
Yep.
I just think the defense, like Brian Flores, is such a good DC.
They've had such a soft schedule. I really had a look at them.
The big good
And
litmus
I
test.
love Darnold, and I love like the resurgence,
Yep.
and I genuinely like the Vikings. They're like a
They're
a
a feel good
that
team.
you get behind.
Yeah, 100%.
But they just had the softest schedule, and
They could drop
apart
to
from
six.
who did they butchered the Falcons, but the Falcons are so terrible, and they've had 3 weeks before that where they've just limped over the line. So
Yeah, I just think they can win in a lot of areas. They're like a poor man's Lions. They can win in a lot of ways. They can run the ball on you. They can throw the ball. Like
I
Jay
can't believe-
Jetters is the best receiver in football.
I
It's
can't
not
believe
even
that
close.
we're talking about
Jamar Chase.
an 11-2 team that needs help. Like that's crazy to me, man.
No, I think they're contenders. I really do.
and sorry, Scotty, but they're
I
gonna
don't know if
they're gonna
it's
come
contenders,
into
I
they're gonna
said
beat
need
you guys by 2 scores. I'm telling you now.
I don't know.
I think Seattle Vikings this week is a litmus test for. It's a league litmus test. We're going to see where these two teams are really at.
I'm telling Vikings are gonna win by 2 scores.
I think it'll be closer than that. I
Yeah.
do because
At
Seattle's
Seattle,
defense is
I
so
don't
good,
think so.
and Darnold
It'll be 10 points.
Darnold does turn the ball over,
Keep the receipt, Brocky.
which is what I like about him. Because as I've said before, quarterbacks need to have that mentality that I'm happy to lose.
Yeah.
And I think Darnold has that because what's that guy got left to lose?
Nothing.
He was on the Jets for 4 years. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
dude's got no
He's got
soul
no
left.
Yeah, like if
getting
someone's
paid.
going to pay him next
Yeah.
year either.
Yeah.
I
Nah,
reckon
they
I reckon
should
Minnesota
franchise
should franchise. Yeah, exactly. Keep him with the
Franchise
franchise tag. 100%.
There is no way he plays for anyone else but the Viking next year. I guarantee you. Because who's the head coach? I always forget. O'Connell.
yeah.
He loves him. And
Yeah.
in fairness, O'Connell has developed one of the best coaches. But we talk situational. He is lights out in every situation. He just
Yep.
knows what to do. He's learned it well. He's a great head
That's
coach.
why I think they're going to win by 2 scores. It's just more talent and better coaching.
Yeah, we'll find.
That's
Oh,
what
I really like McDonald too, though.
They've got the
I don't
Bears
know.
this week on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Who do?
The Vikings.
No, don't they have Saddle this week?
No. They've got Bears then.
And then
at
Seattle.
So
Like-
they're run homes at Seattle, Green Bay, then at Lions.
Yeah, so it's a tough run home. Like in saying that, the Packers could catch him and take the 5 seed too. Because I'm sorry. Before I go, what do you got, Vikings? I didn't ask you.
Need some help.
Need some help. Yeah, but like, are the Packers the unluckiest 9-4 team? Like they just
I've
had
got-
to play the Vikings.
Can
and-
I?
Yeah, go hit us.
I've got the Packers as contenders.
Yeah, okay.
They're just their defense is scary. It's come on.
Yeah.
They were unlucky to lose the Lions. It's a loss, I know. But they
No,
were
but that was
unlucky
the
to
Lions
lose to
just
the
going, "We're
Eagles
winning."
as well.
Yep.
They started the year without Love.
Yep.
And they played, I think, was it Love's first game back the first time they played the Lions?
Yep. It was.
So they're out of their 4 losses, they lost to the Vikings at the start of the year without Love. They lost to the Eagles the first game in Brazil.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they lost to the Lions again. They're a lot better than their record. And I think no one wants to see Jordan Love. He can win you all. He's just the old school gunslinger.
Jordan Love had 30 yards at halftime against the Lions, 38 yards at halftime, and ended with almost 300.
Yep.
His second half, it was like he went, all right, this defense isn't that good.
And
Let's
I
go.
think that in playoffs, you just don't want to see that.
No, that's fair. I just have him. I have him as need some help, and purely, I said, I just don't think they're better than the Vikings and Lions. Like I'm on the flip, you with the Vikings, me with the Packers. I think they're all good, but I think they're just not as good as those two. They will have to play on the road, obviously, as a wild card, which makes it harder. Their defense, yeah, it is scary, but it's also patchy. Like they give up big plays, and then you look offensively. I like Jacobs. I think he's a good running back. Again, when they play against a good team that goes, we're not going to let Jacobs beat us. I don't know if they have that. They're lacking that elite number one receiver or
An
playmaker.
alpha.
Yeah, they're just lacking that. You've got Vikings with Jedders, the Lions with Amon Ra, Eagles with AJ or Devontae, whoever you want, or Saquon, whatever you want to say. They're lacking that guy.
Yeah.
I think Jacobs is kind of a 1A to Henry and Saquon this year. He's been a great signing and a great move. But I just
it
don't think
probably
they
drops
have
off a bit to like Romeo Dobbs. or
yeah,
something.
yeah. I just don't think they have that absolute playmaker on offense that can just turn a game on like the other teams in the NFC do.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that they probably need some help in the sense that, look, you've got Love, and on his day, when he's playing in full flight, he's probably a top 5 QB. Really, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So with him, you've always got a chance
Yep.
to win a playoff game, but they're just lacking that. Yeah, like you said, that I think they really need to try and find a number one receiver, and that will really elevate the team. I think LaFleur's a fantastic
Yeah, I was about
coach.
to say LaFleur's an X factor here.
He's schematically he's A triple plus in my opinion, and I think those two, I've said it before, that those two are a really good marriage.
Yep.
And they're going to perform well together going forward. I just think they're about a year away from being a true contender.
Yeah, I'm not saying they might
that's fair.
not have
That's
to
fair.
bring a guy in.
You know what I mean? I think they're about a year away. Yeah.
That's absolutely
Watkins
fair.
might turn into that guy because he's shown flashes of it,
Yeah,
but it's
sure.
not there yet.
That's what I'm saying. A year away. I
Yeah.
think.
I just
Rocky?
thought that for me being a contender, I can see a path for them getting to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see them rolling some teams.
Yeah, well, we
absolutely.
saw it last year.
Amen.
They
Amen.
pumped the Cowboys and then just lost to the Niners.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
with all seriousness, probably should have beaten them.
Niners should have lost that game.
Yeah, 100%.
They got lucky.
All right, we got the Commanders. Brocky, how you got the Commanders?
I love them, but they're going to be pretenders in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Even if they come in hot, I just don't think it's possible for them to. If they come in and have to play the Eagles, and like I said earlier, Eagles could come in and roll. Commanders could come in and roll Eagles, but realistically, if I look at them, they're pretenders. And I love Daniels, but rookie quarterback, new coaching sort of staff coming in, I think they're going to struggle in the playoffs.
And
It's not their year this year.
who's the coach? I just haven't.
Dan
absolutely-
Quinn.
Dan Quinn. He's a flash in the pan sort of guy. Like I like Dan Quinn a lot actually, but the defense is not that talented.
No.
And it's starting to show now when they're playing good teams. The defense is getting torched. Jaden Daniels is the master of beating up on bad teams that can't scheme against him. As soon as he plays a team with some moderate ability on defense that can scheme and go, let's take this away, he's struggled. So, and that's what I think he's going to be a great player, great pick by them. He's their franchise. They've reset their franchise now. They can actually build on it. But I think they're probably. I can see them being okay this year. Next year, actually having a downer year where they don't make the playoffs because they get a harder schedule.
Yep.
And then the next year, they can, if they do the right things, they can build and then become a good team. But I just don't think it's there. I just think they're pretending a fair bit right now.
I've also got them as
Who's the OC?
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury.
That's
Who's the master of losing a big game, in fairness.
so I've got him. I've also got him as pretenders, and I've said that Daniels has he's definitely hit the rookie wall. Like he's had a really good season, but he's definitely hit the. I think they just don't have enough talent across the board,
No.
especially on defense. They're
Bad O-line, bad D-line.
Yeah,
It's never
so-
good for playoffs.
yeah, exactly. Like when the whips are cracking, you need a good O line for sure.
Scotty?
Just to make that, even if they do sneak in as a 7 seed, even that is a win.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Think
for
about
sure.
it.
For sure. Absolutely.
Rookie QB, new head coach, new OC, bad talent across the board. Just to make the playoffs is a win.
I agree.
So
if they don't win a game for the rest of the year, 8 and 9's a win.
Yeah, they were awful last year.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
And I think they will because they'll play some bad teams.
I have the Rams pipping them here.
So you've
I have
got
the
the
Rams
Rams
pipping 'em.
taking the 7 seed.
Yeah,
I agree.
I do.
I agree for what it's worth.
Yeah, but they've got all NFC teams for their run home, so the tiebreaker goes in their favour a little bit more. They're becoming healthy. Yeah, the Commanders they might have a soft schedule and all that, but like you said, the O line, D line, They've been one of the bottom defenses all year.
Can't cover it. They can't cover a soul. Like, they cannot cover anyway.
And they've had a few lucky wins, and I think their record's better than what the team is at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think we said a couple of weeks ago, if you take that Bears Hail Mary as a loss, they were 500 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And then what have they done? They've beaten some crappy teams the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles will punch them in a couple of weeks. It wouldn't shock me if the Cowboys beat them again because I just don't think they're that
Cowboys
talented.
to knock them out of the playoffs.
Would it shock you? It just would not
No.
shock you.
No, it
It'd ruin our draft position too. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Then we'll re-sign McCarthy on the high of like, oh great, he's beaten
He's
Washington.
finished the year strong.
Yeah, he's beaten Quinn. We told you Quinn was no fucking good.
Yeah,
See Jerry in that
revenge
locker
game.
room with his 9 strippers being like, fucking yeah, we told you Quinn was no good.
That man
Eight
should
and
not-
9, baby. 8 and 9.
That man should not have 9 strippers. He will not last the night.
Well,
Isn't that,
I don't
that's,
know.
that's probably a good thing for the Cowboys.
There's a tablet. I want to load him up. I want him going like, no.
Save it for tomorrow night.
So,
can't have
so
one of those, I'll tell you
Scotty,
after.
I'm with
Remind
you.
me.
I'm with you on the
wouldn't even know
Rams.
about Rodham.
I reckon they're coming home with a tailwind, and they're going to sneak in as a 7 seed.
They get Arizona. I think they get Arizona twice, and they got the corpse of the 49ers. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
They'll
don't. I don't
probably-
mind that call.
Yeah.
And
They're getting healthy. They're getting healthy at the right time.
can we talk quickly about the Rams Bills game?
oh,
That's the best game I watched in 2
It
years.
was a
That
hell
was
of
a
a
cracking
game,
game.
man. Hell of a game.
And everyone, people are coming out saying, "Oh, that's why Josh Allen isn't an MVP."
no, that's why
The
he's-
dude scored 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing. He was the only reason they stayed in that
Anyone
game.
who says that doesn't know ball. They
I
know
agree.
nothing.
I think Billy said it. He
Yeah,
doesn't know
Billy.
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out,
Shout out.
I felt better about the Bills.
Shut
We'll
up, Billy.
talk about the Bills in a bit, but I felt better about the Bills in a loss to the Rams.
Yeah.
It was a trap game, but when Stafford gets going like that, and he's
He's
so
insane.
streaky.
Yeah.
When he
He's
gets
been on,
that
a,
arm,
on the last month. He's been on a heater, man.
Yeah.
He's been really, really good. Like,
I thought he'd be kind of finishing up. I reckon he's got another couple of years left in him.
yeah, I agree.
And Nakua? Oh, jeez.
Puka's
Has
really good.
Nakua entered elite receiver now? He's
What's the lead? Is it top 10?
yeah, I'd say
No, so this is what the issue with Puka. He's going to get too injured.
yeah,
gonna
he's
str-
so
str-
physical.
He struggles with injuries too much.
Yeah, he's been injured
like
a bit lately
he,
already.
he plays through a
Jeez.
lot.
Yeah.
but he's have a
It
short
does,
career.
it does seem like he's dinged up a lot
He
all
gets
the time.
He
dinged
had
up
a
a
You're
lot.
right.
PCL at
You're
the
right.
start of the
He
year,
does.
and it lingered for a lot longer.
Well, let's just say we're doing a wide receiver draft, and you got Jetters,
Chase.
CD.
Like he's top 10.
Like
he'd be top
I
10.
don't think he'd be
You'd
far
put
behind those.
JSN in there.
Maybe JSN. Yeah, I'd put him in the same category as like a JSN.
Yeah,
like
he's in
it's
the
his
top 10.
second year.
Yeah, but he's like really good.
Yeah, he's and he's
Yeah.
so tough. Blocks like a champ. Like Sean McVay must be, because Sean McVay, we all know the story where in the draft room he was like, "Get me that guy."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you seeing him? He's slow." And he's like, "Nah, watch him hit this dude. I
Yeah.
want that guy on my
Yeah,
team." Because he's
He's selfless.
Hawaiian
He's a
Amon
foot-
Ra St. Brown.
He's a football player.
He's a
right?
football player.
Well, Amon Ra St. Brown's probably in that elite.
Yeah, that's it. Amon
Yeah.
Ra. I think Puka's entering that
Yeah, he's not far off.
top
if he's
10
not there.
category.
Yep.
Like he's easily in that top 10 category.
Does
for
help
me.
having Stafford throw you the ball.
Well, every team benefits from a good call.
Amen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
What did you say? What did you say an offense should be? You said
Symbiotic.
A symbiotic relationship.
Symbiotic.
It's a great analogy.
I'm telling you now, ain't nobody want to see the Rams. They make the playoffs.
No.
As an Eagles fan, I do not want to see them in the first round.
No, they could
You don't want to see McVay. You don't want to see Stafford on his day.
Nope. I don't want
Verse
none of
on the
that. I want the
D-line.
Commanders.
Oh.
I want the Commanders. We know them. We know their shit. They come into Philly. We can run the ball up their ass. We can run it down
Yep.
their throat and win
Yep.
the game. I don't want nothing to do with Stafford or the Rams.
Nah, I agree too.
I'm telling you. No way.
I'd love my perfect playoffs would be the top 6 we have now. Take Commanders out and put Rams in. That's my
Yep.
perfect playoffs. I think
think that's what's
that'd be
gonna
the
happen.
7 best teams NFC.
I think
No
that's
doubt
going to
about
happen.
it.
It will
Yeah.
happen.
We'll find out. Do we want to talk Falcons? We're all forking the Falcons. Yeah, they're still
I forked them at the start
mathematically
of the year.
open.
You forked them in preseason.
The scary thing
I
for the
saw through
Falcons
them. I saw
like,
through it.
Yeah.
if the Falcons win next week and the Bucks lose, the Falcons are back in front of the league. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
not
don't
all
care.
over.
They're trash.
I think so too. I think even if they manage to steal that 4 seed, they're just going to be
Give
the
me
wild cards.
the
gonna pump 'em.
Falcons in the playoffs, please.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins in a
Oh,
prime time game.
God.
We are-
4 picks
Yeah.
and probably tear his Achilles again.
Unfortunately, G just can't help you in the playoffs. So
I would almost
Kirky.
rather face a
Amen.
Patriots.
Do you mean the swag surf conductor?
Oh, mate, I do like Kirk.
When they swag and they surf?
He's the most. He's made a great narrative of being a swaggy guy for the most unswaggy dude I've ever seen. And it's hilarious and I love it.
It's a parody. His
Yeah, it
life's
is.
a parody.
It is. He can't even. This is the guy that when he did his gender reveal, he threw a ball and missed.
Yeah, he did miss.
Like, let's sink in. Like that's the clutchest moment he's ever had to be in, and he still couldn't hit the target.
Lucky you throw a pin.
Rumor has it was a Monday night.
Rumor has it there was a Viking that jumped in front of it.
All right, should we talk about the AFC?
So let's. I want to give George the floor for a second. The Kansas City Chiefs, Georgie boy. How you got him?
Look, my hate for all things Mahomes
Yes.
has been well documented.
Is it hate for Mahomes
Yes.
or Chiefs?
No, not Chiefs, because I like Andy Reid.
You do like Andy Reid.
Well,
like
he's an
Andy Reid.
Ex-Eagle great.
Personally, I think Andy Reid is the greatest coach ever, in my opinion.
Yep.
Schematically and just man management wise, game management wise, all of it all together makes him the greatest coach ever.
a big
Recruiting
call.
wise, no,
Massive goal.
but that's okay. I'm happy to make it.
You've always said that.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a decade.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a big call.
Yeah. So, and especially if he wins-
Obviously over Mike McCarthy. Like,
he
how
wins
are
it-
you ranking him over Big Mike?
and don't forget, he's probably going to win another 2 rings with Mahomes, so that's going to put him like in that echelon anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
So
Wins one more, he's definitely right there.
Yep.
I do think we said it last week. They're the fakest level. Well, now they're 12-1. They're the fakest 12-1 team going around. They're
Lucky.
extremely lucky. Like
And
there's
again, this
luck,
week.
and then there's a horseshoe up your ass, which is what this team is. But as we've said before on this podcast, it's better to be lucky than good. So they're winning. At the end of the day, they're winning the games. Their record's 12-1. The Bills lost on the weekend, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So that's basically locked them in as the 1 seed because
Yep.
I don't see them dropping 3 games between now and the end of the season for the Bills to catch up.
Yep.
So they've locked in the 1 seed. And unfortunately, you have to put them as a contender.
Yeah.
You have to. The road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Arrowhead, and if you look at their record over the last 5-6 years, like their record at
And a
home
bye
is
in the
great.
first round, which
Yeah.
Andy Reid never loses off a bye.
So, going back again, like they got Mahomes, who's not playing well, but he's in moments he's finding ways to win, which is what he does. Obviously, he's got the refs helping him too, which whatever.
There it is. There, Rocky, we found it. We found it.
No, but like you can't. It's at this point, it's undeniable. Like I showed you that video. You saw there was like 4 or 5 false starts there that should have been called. Like, sorry, the refs are helping, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you think it's conspiratorial or just luck, whatever. The point is the refs are helping. So they've locked up the 1 seed. The refs are helping him. They got Andy Reid. They got Mahomes, who, like him or not, he's pretty clutch. At this stage, I don't see them losing the AFC.
You got him in the Super Bowl.
How can they lose? Who's going to beat them in Arrowhead?
MVP, Alan.
Bills. Yeah.
Not with the refs helping.
Does anyone have him as not contender
Me.
Yeah, what
I've
do you
got him
got?
as need some help.
from the refs?
No. I'm not stupid like that.
George, he didn't mean it.
It's on. It doesn't. He can call me stupid if he wants.
definitely meant it.
He can call me stupid if he wants, but it's on tape, bro. It's on tape. All the calls that are getting missed. It's on tape.
Film don't lie.
I just don't buy into the ref conspiracy. But I just think
Doesn't make
the
it wrong,
defense
though.
is going to keep them in close games, and obviously their offense can explode any given day. But also, it might not work.
Yeah,
The
so you
offense
think-
might not work, and if they get a Steelers, a Broncos, or who else have I got? Not just Steelers and Broncos. If they get one of them in the divisional, would you be shocked if they lost to a better team that's playing better?
yeah,
If you take the name out of Kansas City, they're not playing like a 12-1 team. They're not destroying teams. They're not.
No, they're not.
running over teams. Like we're saying that they're lucky. You can't be like they can obviously explode and
If
drop
you're
35 points.
If
on
you're
the team.
10-0 in 1-score games this year, like
You know who
you're
else
not
did
just
that?
lucky, you're good.
Kirk Cousins fucking
You win
Vikings
games.
did that.
You,
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and absolutely. You're not just lucky. You find a way to win games, and that's what they do.
And I agree with that. But I think when you play against better competition in playoff environments, that luck may run out, and I think they might get
Absolutely.
pipped.
Not with Andy Reid.
How you got him?
Not with Andy Reid.
They're contenders. You can't deny them.
Yeah, you can't.
Mahomes is good. Andy Reid's good.
The refs,
They don't. But that's it. They don't need the refs.
I love you.
They don't need the
bro. It's true. It's on tape.
If they all execute, they don't need the refs.
No, I agree. I've got him as a contender. I think their defense is so strong. It's so strong. Home field advantage and Mahomes. They're my 3 dot points.
Yep.
If you, and we talked about this with the Chargers game, we can talk about the Chargers game now. Harbrow made the biggest mistake, and I know kicking the field goal to take a lead by 2 points, he needed to go for that and win the game there.
Yep.
He could not give the ball back to Mahomes with a 2-point lead. It is a recipe. Every narrative, not even narrative, every fact we have ever seen is that if you give him the opportunity, it's the Brady rule that he will beat you.
It's
Ask the
reality.
Bills in
It's
the
not a
playoffs.
narrative. It's
Yeah.
reality.
How many times have the Bills done this in the playoffs and they go, nah, we're not doing this now.
Exactly.
We will win the game right now.
And that's the thing. I just, if we're talking on making an AFC Championship game, I think we'll talk about the next team level. I think someone will beat them. We'll talk about that. But you talk about are they going to be in an AFC Championship game? 100% they are. I can a Steelers come in and beat them? Maybe. But I could also see Russell Wilson throwing 3 interceptions against that good
Wilson
defense.
laying a
and-
fucking massive egg.
Yeah, and then winning it 24-0, that sort of thing, because that's a Steelers thing to do, right? But yeah, I just think if you don't have them as a contender, purely based off record and home field advantage and Mahomes, they're a contender.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Don't forget the refs.
And can I make
Do
you
you
a
think the rest
tinfoil
are
hat?
involved, George?
Yes, I do.
Can I make you a tinfoil hat
Please.
for next week?
Please.
Oh, I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make one. Then every time you talk refs, you just have to put it
put
on.
it on.
That's the rule. You got to be like, all right, boys, I'm putting on the hat.
I love it. I have zero issue with that.
No, I think it's a great idea. All right, Bills. Can I start us on the Bills?
Please go for it.
They're a contender. They're
Absolutely.
a motherfucking contender. And here's why. Josh Allen is playing the best football of his career, and that's saying something because his career's been pretty damn good. He's my MVP. I don't care what the NFL do come the end of the season. He's my MVP right now. He lost in that game we just talked about but I feel better about him after losing that game. He's more of an MVP after watching that game because, yeah, the defense didn't play well, and that was a rare bad game against a really good streaky quarterback. It showed me that if they need to, Allen can just go, you know what? I'm just going to score 40 points.
Fuck you, I'll win.
Yeah, I'm just going to win. And it didn't work out, and that happens. But that game literally turned on a block punt for a touchdown. Everyone's like, oh, there was no turnovers. A block punt for a touchdown's a turnover. Yeah, it's a special team turnover, but it's a turnover. So I think they're polished. I think they're so complete. And I really do think the Bills are the best team in the AFC. I think they can get to the AFC Championship game and they can beat the Chiefs. And if they don't, I will actually be gutted. Like
In Arrowhead?
I think they can go
Yep,
and beat them.
I agree.
I don't see
Didn't
it.
they beat
I
them in
agree.
Arrowhead a couple of weeks ago? Was that at Buffalo?
That was at Buffalo, I think.
Buffalo, it might have been. I can't remember. But either way, they've showed they can beat them, and I think they've got the right mentality now. They're going to go in and be like, we're going to win.
Yep.
We're going to beat you, and we're not going to give you an opportunity. And no other team showed that they can do that this season.
I have them as the only contender.
In the regular season.
Yeah, I
Playoffs is a
know.
different story.
If is a big
Playoffs
thing.
is a different story.
Yeah, if ifs and buts
How
and
many
candies and
times
nuts.
can you
but
be this good and lose?
That's what I think. I think their time's coming. Also, it is so fucking. No one's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah.
No one's been to 3 Super Bowls in a row. Like it's everything stacked. History stacked against the Chiefs, and I think the Bills can do
Didn't
it.
the Bills do it and lose all 3?
They lost 4 in a row.
There was 4 in a row. That's
Yeah.
my mistake. Sorry, no one's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. The Bills have managed to lose 4 in a row.
Bizarre.
2 to the Cowboys. No, 3 to the Cowboys. 1 to the Niners.
Redskins. You know-
Niners.
Look, Buffalo are 100% a contender, and
Yep.
anyone who says they're not watching their games.
They
It's
don't
as
know
simple
ball.
as that because Allen's playing it, but he's playing at an MVP level, and as long as he continues to do that, which he clearly is and clearly will, then they're a contender.
I'm
Simple
also
as that.
not off them taking the 1 seed. They've got Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins in their last 4 games. They only need to win 2, and the Chiefs lose 2, and they have to tie with them because they own the head-to-head. I'm not off them winning it. Like I said, the Chiefs would have to lose a couple, but as I said, they haven't played that well. They're 10-0 in 1-score games.
Yeah.
What does history tell us? That you don't win. I think the record for winning 1-score games is 11 in the season. That was the Minnesota Vikings that year. They won 11 games. Yeah, they got pumped by the fucking Giants.
Daniel Jones led
Yeah.
Giants.
They got pumped by the
That's what
Giants.
I'm saying. Your luck runs out.
That's what I'm saying. I could see the Chiefs losing a couple of games and the Bills taking the 1 seed, and then it runs through Buffalo, and that's a different story. And I said I will truly be gutted if Buffalo don't make a Super Bowl this year. I will feel that like a Buffalo fan.
My line for the Bills is try and stop MVP Allen.
Yeah.
Try. Just try.
That's fair.
It's obviously
The
not,
defense
but
is
it's
obviously elite.
It's Jordan in his prime like this year for Allen. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's set
I
up.
am taking over this fucking game. Like it's a different Josh Allen. He hasn't got Stephon Diggs chewing his ear off.
Yeah.
He's just like I don't care. Give me Amari Cooper, fucking lateral it back to me. I'll
He's
score
that good
in
that
the snow.
Brock's on board.
Yeah, Brock loves
He's
it.
that good He's turned the biggest hater into a lover of Allen.
Because he started throwing in upper deckies, and that really turned me on board.
He
Josh
did.
Allen.
He's a big Zin
I
guy.
always
Big
thought I
Z.
liked him.
6
Love-
tutties on the weekend.
Loves the
Fucking
citrus
hell,
in
so
too, which is
cool.
Marrying
unreal.
Haley Steinfeld, like he's kicking goals in every avenue of his
Amen.
life.
So low key about it afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Because there was his bye week. He came
Yeah.
back and he's like,
What happened on the bye week? Nothing.
No, not much.
Got engaged?
Hang out with
They
family
didn't
and
say
friends.
like, not much. The commentator's like, didn't you get engaged? Like, oh yeah, yeah.
Hang
It was nice. So
Hang
it was
out
nice
with family
break.
and friends.
So I suppose he's like, but I'm here to talk about football. Let's go.
And he only talks in movie quotes,
Yeah,
which is
he's-
also hilarious too.
And he loves Anchorman.
Yeah.
And Superbad. He's done Superbad.
Yeah.
I love him. If you can't get around, if you don't like Josh Allen, your turnaround on Josh Allen is like Josh Allen's turnaround in his second year.
Yes.
You hated him.
Yep.
And now you were just,
I'm all
if
aboard.
you're
There
turned
was-
on
there
him,
was
we all have to
always
be.
punch-ons because we've loved Allen for a long time. And
I'd
like,
jerk him off in a
he's
toilet.
shit,
I'm not
and
too
you
afraid to
say
say it.
nothing about it.
Spit on your hand first.
I'd let him do whatever he wanted. If Josh Allen walked in this room right now and be like, Jay, I need you. I'd be like,
Well,
lube or no lube, Josh.
this next team has surprised me so much because I had them winning 2 games for the season.
Yes.
Skinny hasn't forgotten.
Clearly, I know fuck all about ball.
Skinny
So that's
never
fine.
forgets.
Never forget Skinny.
He's like an elephant.
That's a receipt.
10-3, third seed. What do we think?
Pretenders.
Pretend. You
Pretend.
Nah,
know
let
them.
Brocky
No, okay,
go.
let you cook. We'll let you cook.
No, they're just pretenders. They haven't actually played at anyone good.
Did they beat the Ravens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
2
Ravens
points.
aren't good.
Okay.
2
so-
points. Name another team they beat.
I don't know. I don't watch
I
the
don't-
games.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh,
nobody.
You know who they didn't beat? The mighty Dallas Cowboys with no players. Nah, they've lost 3 games. Can I?
Okay.
They're contenders. Oh, you got more? You got more?
Okay.
Hit us,
Oh, you
hit
got
us.
So they beat the
Contenders.
Browns.
Yeah, big win.
They
Did
beat
we-
the Bengals.
Yeah.
They just beat the Bengals by 6 points.
Well, the Bengals are cooking.
They lost to the
Browns.
They lost to the Browns.
Yep, Jameis.
Snow game.
Beat the Ravens. Nah,
Nah, that was a
that
snow
was,
game.
that was a snow game. That
Yep.
was that. Fuck, that was.
Yeah, so they're all division games.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Beat the Ravens by 2.
Pump
beat,
the Commanders.
Won by 1 point against Commanders.
Yeah, there was a big comeback. Remember?
Just beat
They
the
were
Giants.
pumping them.
Kicked the shit out of the Jets, but the Jets are shit.
Yes.
Beat the Raiders. Lost to the Cowboys. Lost to the Colts. Beat the Chargers. Beat the Broncos. And beat the Falcons.
So Broncos are good. I think it's a good win. You're right.
Yeah,
They
no,
haven't
that was
played a lot.
was
of-
the
Bo
start
Nix's
of the year.
second
Chargers,
game.
Chargers are a good team. They're a playoff team. Like
Yeah. I've got them as a contender.
I've got no
And I
issue
put
with
some
the-
notes. Like I said, with Wilson starting to play well, which he is. Wilson is playing really well. He's found a good little niche in that team. Pickett didn't play this weekend, but Pickett's playing really well too. Like
Yep.
he is a really good player.
I love Pickett. I've
Oh,
come
I've-
around on
I have
just
too.
the psychotic nature of that guy.
He
I
goes
just
from like
sign me up.
smiles to throwing punches in half a second.
Yeah,
And then like
I
the
just
defenders
sign-
are like, what are you doing, man? He's like, oh, sorry. I thought
And
we
then
were
he
brawling.
just- and
He's
then he just
so
walks
Josh
away like
Norman.
Nothing happens. It
He's
is-
Josh
Has he been
Norman as a
diagnosed with
receiver.
bipolar? Because I think he might have it.
I don't think we have to diagnose him. I think when they teach bipolar at college, they're like, all right, here's
This is
here's
the video.
Pickens.
Yeah.
Pickens. Here's
Watch
Pickens.
this
Watch
15-second clip.
No, they show
He changes 3 times.
they show 2 Steelers receivers. One's one's Antonio Brown. The other one's Pickens.
This is CTE.
This
and
is-
this is bipolar.
This is the spectrum you could be on any point, boys. You could go full,
That's very
or you
good.
could switch in between.
That is very good for me.
Shout out to Vontae's Burford.
If only you hit him hard enough to shut him the fuck up forever.
think- I
Although
think-
I don't want to ever shut him up. He's
I think
hilarious.
he kept. That's when he started yapping after the hit,
Oh
bro.
yeah, he was never heard a
He
peep out.
lost
of him.
His
his
voice
mind.
changed. His voice actually changed.
Yeah, he got annihilated. And then I've also got they're a seasoned playoff team. They
Yes.
play in playoffs a lot. They know how to do it, and I can see them. I can see them winning a big playoff game. I just think they're a contender. I think they can do it. Now, will they? I don't know if they're not better than the Bills. I think they could beat the Chiefs, but I don't.
Yeah, I
think
think
they're
they could
better
beat
than
the Chiefs
Bills.
as well.
Yeah, I could see them in an AFC Championship game where they
I don't have
they
him
beat
as a
the Chiefs.
contender, but I have him needing help.
Yep.
Everything has to go their way.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I
But
said.
if they roll into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs, I'm not shocked.
No.
Okay, I'm shocked, but I'm looking at the odds like, hey, what are the Steelers paying?
Yeah.
Because I'd put money on it.
Yeah, I'm not backing them. I can also see a world where the Steelers don't win the division too.
Yeah,
That's how
absolutely.
up and down they are. But I think if they can, they're definitely a team you don't want to come in the playoffs. You don't want to play them.
I've got lights out defense, let Russ cook.
Yeah, let Russ cook, baby.
Mr.
Just let Russ
Unlimited.
Yeah.
yeah. Elite D is what I said, and Russ for them to win a big playoff game, Russ is going to have to continue because like he's playing above himself at the moment. Like, let's be fair.
Whoa. He had a fucking good run.
Yeah.
Like, he was one of the best quarterbacks in football in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
I'm not
7
disagreeing.
years ago. 8
Yeah,
years ago.
exactly. But I was going to say that was a long time ago. Thank you, Brock.
It was 3 years ago.
2020, he was MVP caliber.
It was 3
quarterback.
years ago.
That's
3
four
years ago.
that's
And then he
4
went
years
to
ago.
Then he
Denver.
went to the Broncos.
That's 4 years ago. 4 years is a long time in football.
Yeah, but then he went to Denver and fell apart, and then his first stint out of Denver, he's looked great.
Yeah.
I think he's got it in him.
I don't know if he looks great. I think he looks good.
Yeah, that's
He
fair.
He looks good enough to
Not
win you a
great.
playoff game.
Good.
Yes, I
Like he
agree.
can win a playoff game. Yes, he can win a playoff game. But
I thought you were fist bumping me then. I didn't know what to do.
to win a big playoff
so much
game,
passion.
like to beat the Bills, he's
Oh,
going
they
to have to
won't-
play
They won't beat the Bills.
well above himself. That's
will
what I'm
not
saying.
beat
No, but yeah, I have the Bills and Chiefs in a different level.
Maybe I
think
should.
he can roll the
they
Chiefs.
Maybe I should have him as
They are.
me.
He can roll the
Different level.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think he can too, which
Yeah.
gets him to the AFC Championship game.
No,
and
with the refs
and
helping.
that's a huge.
Nah, see, as much as I hate him, I don't think Wilson can beat the
Why do you
Chiefs.
hate Wilson?
No. I think Tomlin can beat the Chiefs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a better. He's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
I hate him.
Why do you hate Tomlin?
I can't stand him.
Why?
He was mediocre for like 6 years. He's also a Steeler. No, he was mediocre for like 6 years straight when he didn't have a losing season. And
When was he?
like fucking 6-7 years ago.
Oh, he's lived in mediocrity.
Yeah,
the
but he
last
was
decade.
also elite for a long time before that.
He's won a Super Bowl.
He won 2, hasn't he?
Did he?
No, he's won one. He lost to the Packers. Then won one the next
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Yeah. No, see, he almost got fired 5 years ago.
He almost got fired last year.
Yeah.
So look, I said I think they're
Saved
good
his
enough.
job, got rid of Matt Canada, turned the team around.
Save Canada.
Where is Canada now? What team's he destroying? Someone in
maybe
college.
like some
Falcons?
Div 3 college.
BYU or something like that.
No, he wouldn't get there.
I actually think Matt Canada's in the NFL still. Let's go Texans. I'll start us off.
Absolute pretenders.
Absolute pretenders. Flew too close to the sun. Sophomore slump from Stroud, and the team seems to have lost some of that like magic juice they had last year. Diggs has helped them in no way. I would say he's
He's
probably
got an ACL, that's why.
he hindrance them for most of the year.
Yeah.
And we know he's a bit of a locker room cancer. Like we know that
A bit.
a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
And I just can't see him going on the road and beating one of the higher seeds. And to be quite honest, I can't see them beating a couple of the wild cards at home. I can't see them. Like looking at it right now, if they get the Ravens at home, I think the Ravens pump them. I really do think that.
We play in Boxing Day as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're nearly as good as the Ravens are.
On talent, the Ravens are better. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think
I think
all of it. It's just not that good.
But my take was that for the Texans to win a big playoff game, Stroud really needs to take another step.
Which he could do because we saw him do it last year in the
He
playoffs.
could. So
That was
they're
against
probably
a
about a
pretty
year or
bad
two
Browns
away
team.
from that.
I agree. Yeah.
They're probably about a year away from that.
I think so. I think they're in their like slump, which is it's a good sophomore slump from
Yeah.
them because they're going to be a playoff team, mainly because their division's not very good. If we're really honest,
I like the Colts.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Colts. I like the Colts too, but mainly because their division's not very good, and I think they'll make the playoffs and then they'll lose a wild card game. I just don't think they'll win a wild card game. I think they're out, and then the next year I'm back on them. Don't get me wrong. Come
Yeah.
next year when we predict the South, it's Texans all the way, and I think that's when they'll really skyrocket and become CJ in his third year. Maybe add a little bit more talent for him, and then get rid of Diggs. You know, just build around.
That was a dumb
build
signing,
around
yeah.
Tank Dell and Nico Collins and just roll with them.
They've had a few injuries as well, which is sort
Yeah,
of
it always
their
hurts.
progress this
But like,
year.
and Laramie Tunsil's gone from an elite left tackle to
Average.
a good
Above
starter.
average,
Yeah, an above
yeah.
average left tackle, which again,
He's
he,
old
he,
now.
he could go up a notch next year as well. We've seen it from guys like Tyron Smith in the past, where they have a down year, and then the next year they're healthier, and you never know what they're carrying. So I just think this year's it's not them this year. They're pretending this year. Scotty,
I've got them as pretenders. I've got Stroud is statistically the worst QB against a blitz this year. And all the higher seeds have an elite defense. So Chiefs, Bills, Steelers. So even if they do win that game, they will get pants in the second round.
Yeah.
Which means they just they're outgunned.
yeah, that's fair. You got anything on the Texans, my boy?
Nah, I don't think they're mediocre. I like CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
He's
me
been
too.
playing well. Definitely a sophomore slump. But yeah, they're lacking talent at receiver. Like getting Diggs is an absolute.
Oh no, they're
dump.
not. I rate Tank Dell and Nico
Nico
Collins.
Collins is so good.
They're good, but
And
He's been
who's
hurt.
who's the tight end they got that's quite good?
Shields.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
He's done nothing this year.
But other than that, they have nothing at receiver.
Yeah.
They have two stud receivers and they can't actually do anything.
I
else
don't think
with
Tank
that.
Dell's a stud. I think he's a solid role player at this point.
He's
He
very
could
good.
He's
I like
good.
him.
He could develop,
Yeah.
but he's not playing like a stud now.
For them to be a genuine contender, Stroud needs to take another step.
I don't think it's going to happen this year.
No,
I
it
just
won't.
don't think
It
it's
won't.
this year. As you said,
They're a year
he
away.
can't play the blitz. Teams have worked that out. That's going to have to be his off-season thing. And I think he's good enough to go to the off-season,
Yes, yeah.
go, what do I need to do to be better against the blitz? And then the offense to develop,
I
get
think-
better against the blitz as well. Because
To be better against the blitz, your offense needs to be better.
Yeah,
in
I think
general.
so too.
You need better options.
And
You got to get
He's
the
got a
ball
terrible
out.
O-line.
and calling plays better and stuff as
Yeah.
well. It's not all on
play
him.
calling,
Like, you
yeah.
can't just be like, oh, Stroud's a superstar. I'm going to call these plays. It's going to work every time.
Well, Lamar Jackson was
He's-
shit against the blitz 2 years ago.
And now he's great
Like
against it.
Miami used to just go cover 0 and just send the house.
Yep.
Every time.
It's also losing his number one receiver, Nico Collins, for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And now he's back. He's a little bit better against the blitz, but
And Nico Collins is not fully healthy. You can
No,
tell.
yeah.
From him the first 5 games to him now,
Yeah,
he doesn't look the
absolutely.
same.
Yeah.
And that stuff can linger. Like you have injuries like
Yeah.
that, you lose a step at that level, you lose half a step in the NFL, it makes life really hard for you.
yeah.
Does it ever?
We're going to talk Ravens, Brock. Can we all do our prediction on the Ravens and
Go
then
for
you
it.
can take over?
Yeah, go for it.
Scotty, what do you got on the Ravens? Oh no, he just gave us the look.
I also
I have
fucking
Pretenders.
Oh God.
We'll have to win in a shootout, and it's not a recipe for playoff success. They've had one of the worst defenses all year.
No, but okay, fair. George,
Look, I also have them as pretenders because their secondary is very, very lackluster.
Yep.
And yeah, they can't cover anyone basically. Also, I think that mentally they can't get over the hump. Mentally, they can't win a big game. So talent, well, they've got the talent to win a big game, but
On
mentally,
offense,
they,
I do.
yeah.
on offense. That's what I'm talking about. On offense,
Yeah.
they've got the talent to win a game, but I think mentally they can't.
Yep.
If the seeds pan out the way they have right now, they're going to have to go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
And they can't do it. They can't do it. Mentally, I think the Chiefs have got it over them mentally.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
I'm a different avenue to you two.
That's okay.
The ultimate end. I've got them as a contender still. And here's why. You can't look past the dominant offense that Lamar's been running and with Henry. I agree the losses have hurt. Like the losses have put them in a tough position, which makes it harder. I agree. They still have a big chance to win the division. I truly believe it. You look at the record. The Steelers haven't got this division wrapped up. If they both win this week and then the Ravens knock off the Steelers, they're right back in it. So I don't think that they're not necessarily going to be the 5 seed.
Mathematically, yeah.
Yeah, they're still alive, which I think it is realistic that could happen. It's probably a 50-50 chance that the Steelers or the Ravens win.
What's the
division
run
still.
home? Anyone got that?
Steelers have the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. That's what the Steelers have.
Which is tough.
And the Ravens have Giants, Steelers, Texans, Browns.
So I mean, like that Texans Steelers game,
They got the favourable
the Ravens
teams out
Steelers
there.
game is going to decide it, right?
Yeah.
I said they can't beat any of the top seeds on the road on their day. They can beat any of the top seeds on the road on their day, and they've proven that because they've beaten the Bills this year and they lost to the Chiefs by a toe, which is it happened. So that you got to live with it. And I said I haven't lost faith in the Lamar Henry duo at running back.
They're all valid points. My concern's the
camera.
other side.
All right, Brocky,
The
hit us.
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute contenders. Absolute contenders. And it's not even just our homer saying it. It's our run home is good. You're going to give us a bye with 4 weeks left in the season to come home fresh against...
Who, the Giants?
No, the Ravens. The Ravens have had a bye this week.
Oh, sorry.
And now
yeah.
they got the last 4 games of the season to actually come home against the Giants, Browns, Steelers, and then and the Texans as well. Absolutely, we'll come home. We'll win the division.
It's a big call.
Absolutely, we'll win the division.
I wouldn't say absolutely.
Absolutely.
I would
Giving
not
them
say
a
absolutely either.
2 game head start with 4 games to go is
Book it.
absolutely strong.
Because we'll split we'll split with the Steelers. That's fine. We'll have a better if we beat the Browns. We'll have a better divisional record to take us into that one as well. The Steelers won't beat the Chiefs this week.
No,
The Steelers are playing the Eagles this week.
Oh, it's playing
And
the
they won't
Eagles.
beat the Eagles.
They won't play.
They won't beat the
They
Eagles.
won't beat the
Philly.
Eagles.
Yeah, Philly will be up for that game.
I
We're
actually
down
think-
for the Panthers.
So
We'll be
I
up for
actually
that game.
did. Like, I went to my prediction thing and did it. I think the Ravens win out because I think they beat the Steelers because often, even if
They
we're going off
split.
historic, they split.
Yeah.
They beat the Browns because you go off historic, they split. They lost
Yeah.
the Browns
Yeah.
earlier, and they beat the Giants. And who's the other team they had?
Texans.
The Texans. I think they beat both those. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're gonna roll them, but I think they're better than all
But
those
then
teams.
if Pittsburgh win 1 game, what happens?
Yeah, but they have to win more than one game. What
They're
about
2 games ahead.
No, not if the Ravens beat
Oh,
them.
yeah, if they win out, yeah.
Yeah, if they win out, then the Steelers only have to lose 2.
I
And the
think-
Steelers, if they lose to the Chiefs and the Eagles, which I think they will, it's open again.
It is, yes.
And then they'll have as Brock said, they'll have the better division record, and they'll have a split head to head. So they'll take. Look,
All right. Well, as we're looking at the Ravens now, I would much rather say the 5 seed and play the Texans than have the Chargers or Broncos.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we already beat Chargers once this year on Monday Night Football.
But I'm just talking about
was a
in,
good game.
in playoff settings
I'd rather Harbour against Harbour again.
over the Texans right now.
Oh, no. I'd love to kick
That's
the shit
what
out
I'm
of the
saying.
Texans,
So
but I'd love
you-
to win the division as well.
If you win the division, it's almost a worse game for you.
Yeah, I see how you see that. Where you up, James? Grab me another hard R, please, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're absolutely. I wouldn't write us off completely. Like, yes, we need some help, but if we make it in there, I would hate to play the Ravens coming in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lamar
That's
Jackson
fair.
is absolutely dangerous. And I know you say he can't win a big game, George, but he can absolutely win a big game. He's got one of the best winning records for
Not in playoffs.
not in playoffs, but fourth quarter drives, game winning drives.
Yep.
He's up there with.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like that, all the stuff that you're saying is correct. But that's about regular season. Like I'm talking about we're talking about playoffs now. Playoff football is completely different, and his record in the playoffs is
1-3.
is bad. Like it's
Yeah.
just bad. This is a bad record. So
And
I
that's with the good
just have
defense.
faith. I have faith in him.
that's all I'm saying.
The only bad thing about our defense is our secondary.
Yeah.
That's legit the only bad thing. Our
It's pretty important, though.
Well, D line is unbelievable.
They stop the run too.
Our linebackers are
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, how come every team's scoring 40 points on you?
No, they're not.
They're not.
Some teams are. They're got to win in a shootout. I don't. Think
Yeah, that's right.
But they can stop a run.
If-
And like, do the Chiefs, are they burning everyone? Because they're not.
no,
no,
they're
no,
not.
no, no.
But don't get me wrong. I don't think they can beat the Bills. But it also wouldn't shock me if they went into Buffalo and beat them. Like if Lamar play, if we're talking about teams playing at their full flight. If the Ravens play at their full flight, I don't know if there's a better team in the NFL. That's how good I think they are at full flight.
Lions.
The only
Maybe the Lions, maybe only the Lions, but I don't think there's a better team at full flight than the Ravens.
the only teams that actually put up more than 30 points on the Ravens this year were the Bengals
Yep.
and the Bucks.
Yeah.
They're the only teams that actually put up more than 30 points on the Ravens this year.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I'm still with us.
Yeah, I am.
I'll
Sure. I
ride us.
think they can. We're going to see how it plays out, but I think the next month, the Ravens.
Do you honestly think that they can go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs?
Yes.
To win the AFC?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they'll have to. I think they'll go if they finish as the 3 seed.
They'll play the Bills at the
They'll
Bills.
play the Bills at the Bills, and they'll lose that. But I think they can go in. They can beat the Chiefs.
They can win.
We can beat the
Yeah.
Bills.
Well, they can. They're good enough to win on any given day, absolutely. But I think there's too much against them.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
The record.
I definitely don't think they're pretenders. I don't think that. I think they're too good to be pretenders. Personally. All right, can I do the Chargers? Because this is actually going to hurt doing the Chargers. They're pretenders.
They're pretenders. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to get a drink for you, mate. Why don't you grab me one while you're up, Brock?
Wow.
Power move.
That's a Uno reverse right
I've
there.
got the power. I wish I knew which button it was.
Yeah, I've got them as pretenders.
I got
too.
them pretenders. I love them. They're just not talented enough yet.
Yep.
That they are cruising in the right direction.
Can I read you my first line?
Hit me, big dog.
Pretenders. Not enough talent on that roster, but look out, they are coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got fun and frisky. Next
up there,
year
mate,
will
if you
be
want it.
fun if healthy.
Very good from you. You didn't get me one.
Harbaugh will build that roster to win playoff games.
I agree, but
Harbaugh
this
won't
year they're
lose-
absolute pretenders.
But they won't lose a game this year.
I also no.
They just did on the week. They just-
Yeah.
No, but they're not going to get blown out. They're not going to lose. They're a tough out.
Do you reckon Harbrow's sitting at home after that loss to the Chiefs on the weekend, going, "Shit, I fucked it up."
Yeah, I think
should've
so.
gone for it.
I reckon that's going to eat him up for weeks.
I think it will too. I think he's that sort of coach. I think he'll
Yep.
sit and he'll go, next time we play him, we're not letting
He
that
would have
happen."
gone into the meetings on Monday and said, that loss is on me. Absolutely no one in this organisation take that loss except for me.
So who will they? Let's just say that it ends up how it is now. The 6 seed will play the 3 seed. Is that right?
Yes.
There's no reason the Chargers can't go into Pittsburgh and beat them off it is right now.
I
And
agree.
I think the Steelers are good too. But
agree.
they're not getting over the Bills. They're
I
not
think the
getting over the
Broncos will pip
Chiefs.
them. I think the Broncos have a better run home.
They do, yes. That's the other thing. They do have a better run home. So just said, I just think they're not there yet. I love them.
Yeah, that's what I
they're
said.
just not there yet, which makes them
They're already,
pretenders in my
what I've
eyes.
said here is that they're already mentally tougher
Yep.
with Harbaugh as coach. You can see that. They're not, like I've seen them lose those games over and over again. They're winning games that they would classically lose.
Yep.
Mentally tougher, and that's only going to improve.
Yep.
Mentally, they're going to improve. The roster's going to improve. Like I'm telling you, within 3 seasons, they're going to play in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think they're trending in the right
It's hard to
direction.
get there, but
Also,
I see where you're going. Yeah.
Joe Alt's the offensive rookie of the year. I don't care who gets awarded it. I don't care how they justify it.
It's Brock Bowers.
It won't be. It'll be Jaden Daniels or
Yuck.
Bo Nix, which is
Yuck.
shocking. But Joe Alt is playing one of the toughest positions in football. And not only is he's probably the second or third best right tackle in football right now.
Mm-hmm.
He never gets help. He one-on-ones every single pass rusher he plays against, including giving Max Crosby an absolute bath. Twice.
With a capital B.
Like, he is the best player out of that draft. And we all we thought he was.
Yep.
And I know the value is not there, but in my eyes, Joe Alt,
It isn't?
well, in the world of awards, it's
Bullshit.
not.
You spend a top 10 pick on a tackle that's going to start for you for 10 years. That's fucking value, bro.
I
Remember
agree.
they're talking
but
about for the
I'm
award.
talking about for the award.
Oh,
I know
the
the
award,
value
my
is not
bad.
there
Sorry,
for
I
the
thought you meant
awards.
draft value.
No,
Apologies.
draft value is insane.
Yeah.
Like he should have gone. He probably should have gone number one.
Well, he was the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
by a mile.
So, but I just he's my offensive rookie of the year, no matter what anyone tells me.
I love
I'm gonna get a
Harbaugh's
poster
mentality
with
too, where he's
O'Roy.
like, no. We didn't go after a receiver. O-linemen are weapons.
And
Like,
then
that's why we got him.
they nailed one with Lad McConkley anyway.
Oh, shout out to Lad.
who didn't play against the Chiefs, which was a massive out.
Yeah.
And then
He's the go-to.
and then we're sleeping on the fact that Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in football.
And
He's a
was
top 5
hurt.
quarterback.
He got hurt early.
Got hurt like 4 times. Like
Yeah.
he's playing through injuries.
Guy's an absolute fucking stud,
Yeah,
bro.
I love Herbert. And they've got him now. He's locked in. They've
Tall.
just got to build around him now.
Gunslinger.
Yep.
Very good looking.
Tall, white, handsome gunslinger, bro. He
is
ticks
very-
all the boxes.
Got to clean up their acne though. Still
He's
got
got to clean
up
that.
the acne.
He's Josh Allen with acne. That's what he is. If he had
Nah,
Josh Allen.
he's more handsome than Allen.
Oh my.
No,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
They're both very good.
he was
looking
when he had his
roosters.
hair.
Where have you got Chargers? Pretenders?
Need some help.
Need some help.
Need some help.
That's about.
They're
got
gonna
him up there.
make. They're gonna make a run. They will make a run, and like I like Harborough, but they're gonna make a run. They have to make a run, and they have to stay hot because if not, they can drop to the 7th seed and have to play the Bills first week.
Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough out.
That's their need the help. They need the help to actually get into the playoffs at a good seeding. But if you play the Texans, Steelers, they might struggle against.
I don't think they can beat the Steelers.
Yeah, maybe not in Pittsburgh. It's tough.
It's a tough travel.
Yeah.
Cross country.
Yeah. All right, Scotty, Broncos.
Broncos. I love the Broncos.
I know you do.
I love the Broncos. I have them. They could be the 3rd best team in the AFC. They could beat anyone.
Cap.
Their defense is the 2nd best defense in the league. Mm-hmm. If you give Sean Payton a week to scheme and go against another team, would you be shocked if they went into the Steelers and pumped the Steelers?
Yes. If they pumped him, yeah.
Pumped them, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say 2
I'd be shocked if they beat the Steelers.
Would you?
I think the Steelers are so much more polished than them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because unfortunately, like,
And playoff experience wise too.
yeah, from what we've seen with Bo Nix, when he has to carry the game against a good opposition,
Yeah.
he struggles.
But when Payton puts him in a position to...
Yeah, but I also think the Steelers defense will go, we're not going to let you put him in that position because we're just a bit better than him.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah.
I've got them as pretenders, and the reason why is I just don't think they're that good.
Yeah.
They just don't have a running game.
Not
That's
enough
talent.
Not enough
hurts
talent.
them. Yeah.
They've won predominantly over bad teams. Bo Nix is not playing as well as the hype is showing. Like, I'm the first to admit I was wrong about him. I thought he'd be awful. He's fun. He's exciting. He plays hard, and I enjoy watching him. I really do. And I was wrong about him in the preseason. I'll admit that. But I don't think he goes into any of the teams above them. And he's the worst quarterback in the playoffs right now by far. You think Mahomes,
Yeah.
Allen, Wilson, Stroud, Lamar, Herbert. He is by far the worst quarterback in the playoffs.
Agreed.
And they're not that talented on offense. They rely heavily on Sutton, who's possession, physical catching sort of receiver. He doesn't get open from athleticism, which against good teams, they're going to find a way to stop that guy. Like, and then they don't have a lot after that. That's my concern.
The run game
They don't run the ball
really
very
hurts
well,
them. Yeah.
so they can't control it. And especially against good teams, all these teams in the playoffs, every single one of these teams are good against the run, including the Texans. They're all good against the run.
Yeah.
They can shut them down and not allow them. I would be more surprised if the Broncos. I would be more surprised if the Broncos won a playoff game than them missing the playoffs. I just don't think they're that good. Now the future's bright and Peyton's good, but
Yeah,
I
well,
think
that's
they're
them
absolute
my
pretenders.
notes here. Like Peyton, like you give him the time, and he will build a team that can
Agreed.
contend in the playoffs. It's clear that he's working with Nix, and whether you think he's good or not is up for debate. But you can't deny that his play has improved
Do you?
significantly.
I agree. Do you think that Peyton is winning because of Knicks or he's helping Knicks win.
He's helping Knicks win.
Yeah.
That's the
I think
problem.
they're
I
putting-
don't know if Knicks can go to that next level where he's just good enough to win games.
If anyone can do it, Sean Payton can.
I agree.
That's
But
my point.
How many QBs can do that?
There's not many. I reckon probably 6 of them in the AFC can.
Can just straight up win you a game?
Yeah, maybe other than Stroud at this point of his career. Herbert can, Lamar can. Wilson, no, that's unfair.
Yeah.
Allen can and Mahomes definitely can.
Yeah, but Wilson could when at his peak. He could
He could. He's done it before. He's got runs on the board. Bo Nix does.
at his peak. Like he's clearly in the decline.
Either way,
Yeah.
the Denver were right to take Bo Nix, which I thought was a ridiculous pick. Bo Nix, that's his new name.
Shout
Bo
out.
Nucky. It was a good pick. I thought it was stupid, but it was a good pick for them, and I think they can build around him. But he's going to be the tractor, not the. He's going to be the trailer, not the tractor.
Yeah, right.
I think they're going to build. They're going to have a really
Probably
good team
this
around.
year.
Definitely this year,
Yeah.
and then potentially the next couple of years until
the-
we see how he develops, which
The
could.
key is going
go
to
to the next
be
level.
the key. They've already got a really good defense. The key is going to be them developing their run game. That's
Yeah.
got to be the key for this
'Cause
offseason.
He needs to win like Hurts is winning. That's
Yes.
the Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Like,
where he throws the ball
recipe.
20 times. That's
Yeah.
it.
And then runs a bit, read option, all that sort of stuff. They're
Spot
tougher.
on.
And then he doesn't turn the ball over a lot, which is a great trait in a young quarterback and all those things. But
Yep.
yeah, they haven't
Not
played a
recently.
lot of really good teams.
No, their defense is so good though.
And PS2 is the best corner in football.
Agreed.
He's
By far.
so good.
By
so
far.
good. He
Oh,
should be in
Snead's
contention.
still good.
Yeah, but I think that PS2 should be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year with how well he's played. He won't win it because he hasn't got the stats to back it with interceptions and whatnot, but his coverage is elite.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost not much better. Brocky, how you got the Bronchies?
I like the Broncos, but they need help. They're going to struggle when they get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I've got him in need help.
Yeah. And that's fair too.
That's all I got on them.
Yeah.
They're just going to, everyone above them is fucking good.
Is better. They're the
fucking
clear 7
good
seed
team.
in the AFC.
Oh, I think they're better than the Texans right now.
Not talent wise. Maybe on
Form
If
wise.
they played each other right now in a playoff game, I think the Broncos will probably beat them.
I'll pay that.
yeah,
I'll pay
because
that.
Stroud struggled against good defenses. So yeah, that's fair. But as I said, they're not going any further than that. They're like, oh shit, they won a wild card game. That's awesome.
Realistically,
Yeah.
realistically,
playoffs
if they
is
can win a
massive for
playoff,
them.
if they can win the playoff, making is unbelievable. If they win a playoff game, that's an astronomical result.
Yeah, and it's a great build for the future. Get some plays in. People like Denver are a buttoned up organization. Sorry, GV.
How dare you?
They're a good organization. Sean Payton's a great head coach. Like he's in the top echelon of coaches.
He's already turned the franchise around in 1 year. Give him another 2 years, and they'll be well on their way.
But like you say, Jay, winning the Super Bowl should not be the end goal for every team.
Never should be. It should be the end goal for any team.
Making a,
Oh, no,
making
there's some teams that...
I think that some teams have aspirations that they're good enough to win a Super
Yeah.
Bowl, but the starting goal for every team should be let's get to the playoffs.
make a playoffs, get a good seed.
And what's the
No,
quickest way to
I
make the
disagree.
playoffs?
Win your division.
Win your division.
That's what
That
the
should be the goal for every team.
year. Win your
There'd be
division.
3 or 4 teams that it's... You have to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I agree that there are teams that think that. I don't think it's correct.
You think that internally teams think that? No
Yes,
way. There's no way.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're telling me at the start of the year, the Lions and Bills were like, oh, if we win one playoff game and lose, that's a good year for us?
No.
No. That's make the Super Bowl.
I agree with you. It's not my mentality. I don't think it's right. I think the plan should be win our division, win the 1 seed. That should be, if you're the top team, win the 1 seed. Hey, playoffs are hard. We're gonna have to this
are
narrative. Oh, we're gonna be in a Super Bowl this year. That's our goal. It's a stupid goal because it's so hard to do.
Because
And
that's
so
not
much has to
factoring
go
in
your
for
way.
injuries. It's not factoring in for
Yeah.
anything, man. Like
Yeah.
you can't. No.
Like if the Lions had Aiden Hutchinson, no one would be beating them this year. But unfortunately, they don't. It's
No
just
one's
it's just
beating them this year. So.
yeah, potentially. But with Aiden Hutchinson, like
Well,
they're
currently.
that's the one thing they're missing is Aiden Hutchinson
yeah.
right now. Like they had him, we'd be all sitting here going, it's the Lions and nobody else. Now with the injuries, it's like, oh well, like the Eagles could do it. Like there's some teams that could do it. Like it's put them back down to the playing field.
Should we look at the Colts quickly, or don't worry about it?
We're gonna do I know Scotty wants to talk about Colts. He loves his
Oh, I
Colts.
haven't got anything for the Colts. I think it's
For
just
the blue.
a good year.
This is our team.
This is our Colts.
I love that guy.
bleed
What's his name again?
Fuck knows.
Oh, he's so
Yeah.
good. I love him. He got Colts Fan of the Year as well.
Well,
He gets
no
free,
doubt.
free Super Bowl tickets.
No
No,
doubt.
he got NFL Fan of the
Was
Year.
NFL Fan of the Year.
NFL Fan of the Year.
Mate, it's Bluey Diner or something. That is his name. He's hilarious. I love
Shout
that
out.
guy. I'd love to get him on the show. I reckon I might go for the offseason just shoot
He's
him a
been
message.
beaten to death with the tism stick, but shout out to him.
He's not beaten to it. He hit every
Now-
stick.
What do you mean?
Now he's
He
not
was
coming on
holding
the show
tism
after
stick.
that.
No, I'm beaten with the tism stick too. It's just
Shout out to you.
a different variety of tism. We're all struck by it some way. You know?
It was hats.
So I've got pretenders, and I've got one note, and that is As long as AR-15 is under center, they won't win a single thing.
Nah, you've gone early on that. I think AR's.
Okay, that's okay. I'm happy to go early. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, that's fair. Time will tell us.
He did the exact same thing on Bryce Young, so watch out for AR-15 next year.
You did Bryce Young.
Still doesn't mean I'm wrong. He hasn't won anything yet.
Oh, you can't tell me that turnaround hasn't been good.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is he hasn't won anything yet.
Is Bryce Young a bust as of right now?
What's his career record?
No.
No, that's a team game.
On his play, is he a bust? From what you've seen the last few weeks, do you think he's a bust still?
I've already told you what I think my level for a bust is. I've already said it on this show. If you're a quarterback taken in the top 10, for you to not be a bust, you need to win a playoff game.
Yeah, that's fair.
And how long do you get?
5 years.
So how are you writing off Bryce Young and AR-15 now when they're both in year two?
Because Bryce Young is 5'6" and AR-15 is too dumb to read a playbook. That's how I'm right.
You don't know he's dumb.
Yeah, no, he's dumb. I've said it. I've called it. The guy's stupid, bro. He's stupid. Simple as that. He cannot read a playbook. He can't read a defense. He can't throw with anticipation. The guy is an idiot. I'm sure if he took an IQ test, it'd fucking be double figures.
Oh, Jesus.
Who had
Clip it.
Who had the awful IQ? Was it Vince Young that had the awful IQ
Yeah.
test? They were just like,
No,
they tried to-
it was the Wonderlic test.
the Wonderlic
No,
test.
that was,
Stroud.
that was CJ Stroud set the
Yeah.
record for the lowest.
Yeah, he did. But the backstory on that is apparently he was meant to do it at like 5 p.m. and his plane got delayed. So he flew back. He flew to take the test at like 11:30, and they told him he wouldn't take it that late. He was going to take it the next day, and then they were like, "Oh no, you're going to take it now."
Oh, they reckon they fucked them?
Yeah. So apparently, yeah.
I can tell you for a fact, when Vince Young did his Wonderlic test, no one had to fuck with him.
No.
That guy's stupid in that fridge.
Yeah.
That fridge keeps things
So I'm
colder.
sorry, like, you know me, I call a spade a spade. The guy's dumb. If you listen to him talk, he's dumb. He's too dumb to play quarterback in the NFL. Sorry.
Fair enough. No, it's that you've been very strong on it.
That's been my position. No, I haven't been strong. That's my position, and I haven't
Strong.
wavered.
Doesn't mean you've been
Strong
strong on the
position.
position.
Yeah.
It's a strong
And
position.
Bryce Young is too small to play in the NFL.
No, I think
No,
he's
but
showing
he's
this
showing
year
that he
he's
can
not.
now.
I think with the right thing.
Yeah, if you watch him play though, even against us, all of it was just like him, just like booting out, moving out of the pocket. Like teams are going to shut
Russell
that down,
Wilson
bro.
Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl doing that.
Yeah, that was before teams were onto it. Now teams are onto it.
Yeah, maybe. I think Bryce Young's resurgence has been amazing. I've
Look,
enjoyed it.
It's been a good turnaround and
You
good
gotta
for
give him
him.
credit.
I'm happy for him
Yeah.
because he seems like if you hear him talk, he seems like a nice boy,
Very likable.
very
Yeah.
likable. Seems like his teammates like him. Seems
Yep.
like his teammates want him to do well.
Yep.
He's got two things working against him. One, he's a fucking hobbit, and two, he plays for the Panthers.
That's the second one mainly.
The second one's
Come on, like
It's
say
a
it
tough
right,
break.
guys.
It's a
He's a
tough
fucking
break.
hobbit. He
He's the
plays for the
same height
Panthers.
as
Like
Baker
as simple
Mayfield.
as that.
Is he the same height as Baker?
Yeah, it's just Baker's just built different.
He is built different.
The guy's a fucking
He
hobbit.
wakes
Sorry.
up feeling dangerous.
He does.
I fucking love Baker.
I do love Baker.
You got to remember, it took Cam Newton, literally Superman, to turn that franchise around, and they still couldn't get it done.
They can't even appreciate him now. That's
Exactly.
How bad
That's my
they
point.
are.
It's how fucking shit,
It's a horrible
shit show
franchise.
they are.
They'd be the Giants of the NFC if they were not in the NFC. Like if the Giants weren't in the NFC, they'd be the Giants.
What?
That's what I'm trying to say. They are the Giants of the NFC. The only thing stopping them being that is that the Giants are in the NFC.
Yeah, but
They're
at least
the
the Giants
Titans
have
of the
won
NFC.
Super Bowls.
They're a poor man's Giants of the NFC.
But at least the Giants have won Super Bowls. They've done something.
Nah, don't start me on the Giants Super Bowls. Fucking,
They beat the Pats, man.
they did. That is all a favour.
But then, other than those playoff wins for Eli Manning, didn't
Don't
want
matter.
another playoff game.
Hey, more playoff wins than Lamar, bro. Yeah, I said it.
Hey, he didn't mean it. Did you mean it?
More rings than Lamar.
Did you mean it?
No, it's a fact, bro. It doesn't matter. I don't mean nothing. It's a fact.
It's factual. It is factual. It's hard to go back. Brock, don't put your Crocs in sports mode. Stop it.
Are we looking at next week?
No. Let's get out of here.
Okay, cool.
Let's go. There's some big games next week, but we'll
Red Cup betting
we'll do some
Sunday.
Red Cup betting stuff on Sunday night. Scotty,
Thank you, Scott.
No, thank you, boys. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure's
Scott
all
Brock.
ours.
That was
all
Brock
ours.
clapping.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you
Just
for
clap my
giving your
thighs.
time.
Yeah, I did, baby. That's what you've been doing a lot lately, I've heard.
Hey-o.
Whoa, we'll take that off the podcast. No, thanks for tuning in. Get onto our Patreon. We're stuck at 8. We need 2 more patrons, so Brock has to do a stupid song. Don't make me make fake accounts and do it myself. Okay? Because
Couple
I
of
will
bot
do it.
accounts.
Let's go. And I'm talking about you, Tommy. I know you're a big time listener. We need you now, Tommy. We need you more than ever.
Come on, Tom.
Okay? Get you to sign up. Get Tiger to sign up.
For the boys.
Yes, Tiger.
Get
yeah.
Tiger to sign up. That's 2. All right? Get on there. Make him sing. We can all make fun of him.
Surely.
It'll be so good.
I won't make fun of him. I'm going to encourage him. Go, bro.
You know-
you do your thing.
I'll make the bot account so George has to do the bad apple dance.
Oh, I'm considering.
I've never agreed to that, and I'm
you
not
said
doing
At
it.
25, you said you'd do it.
No, I didn't. That's
No,
a
you
complete.
didn't say it, but when I said it, you went.
Roll the tape.
That's a complete
Roll
You
the
fallacy.
tape.
nodded. You nodded slightly.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I reckon you did. I think you'd do it for the boys.
Not a single chance, bro.
What if we all do it with you?
No, bro.
We'll be behind you doing it.
I'm a grown man. I'm not doing that fucking nonsense. Get the hell out of here.
He'll do it, guys. Keep pushing. Now, shout out to Dave and Sporting
Spoiler.
Globe Chenside Park. I did the show Dave on Sunday night. It was good fun.
Was it a good show?
I love Dave. He's a good bloke. You were out doing
MIA.
Other
Slapping.
things.
He reckons he was
activities.
sleeping, but it sounded a lot like this.
Had it early morning.
Sound like mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
Peace out, everyone.